One of the most talked about events that happened at Scribble Jam was between you and Copywrite.
Oh, was it?
I would argue could be one of the first viral hip-hop memes before memes were a thing.
For sure, yeah. So I paid him $300 to do a hook for a song called All Hail. And the reason why was I was doing this song, let's call it like '01, and I had a song that was like a bar that was a play off of the phrase holier than thou. He had that song Holier Than Thou, which was a great song. You know, I was playing it for my friends, or I was spitting it for my friends, and they were like, yo, are you dissing Copywrite? And I was like, nah, I don't know. I don't want that to be what people are thinking at all. And, you know, that was like a few years or a year or whatever after the thing with me and Vinny. And I was like, I'm not trying to, you know, have a history of having problems with white rappers. And so I reached out to Copy, I think maybe on the UGHH message boards or on AIM or something like that. And I told him the bar and I was like, yo, I'm not dissing you. He's like, oh, I'm not thinking you're dissing me. And I'm like, cool, why don't you jump on the song? And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, send me $300. So I sent him $300 in PayPal, and then I mailed him the materials. And then he never did it. And I kept like hitting him up, like, yo, when are you gonna do this? Cause, you know, like, to me, he was like more known. And I was like, well, you know, it may take time or whatever. And then it just kind of became clear that he was ducking me because he had a show in New York. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna come through the show or whatever. And we could chop it up. And, you know how like when people have a show, they usually are hanging out, you know, before the show and then after the show. He got on stage and he left. Like he didn't like try and come and interact or whatever. And I'm like, okay, this dude is ducking me. So this goes on for years because this situation happened in '05. And so he was there. I don't know that I'd seen him yet or whatever. Maybe I did, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm hosting the preliminary battles. And I think this is when Il Mac won that I was talking about. And some dude, and I can't remember his name, but what he said in his bars was, who want to see E-Dub get beat up like Copywrite in a lobby fight? And that was after Copy got into it with Camus in front of that hotel lobby, and Cage took pictures and posted it online. And so I was like, yeah, whoever disses Copywrite is cool with me, like they get my vote or whatever. And so I get off stage, and I'll never forget this. Copy comes up to me, he's like, you wanna go outside? I was like, I sure do. And so there's like 6 pictures from this. It's a story told in 6 pictures. So he says to me, and I'm gonna get the details at this point, probably a little bit wrong, but there is a video where there's a reenactment that Swanberger from Soliloquist of Sound did. And whatever's in that reenactment is exactly what was said, because I remembered very well at that point. But anyway, we're standing outside in front of, Top Cats or whatever? And he's like, yo, let's go deeper into the parking lot. And I'm like, and in the picture, I'm like this, like, nah, let's do this right here. Before we go outside, I went to my guy, Fisher Price. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go fuck this nigga up. Like, let's go outside. And not because I was like, yo, let's jump him, but I guess I just wanted people to see it. And so I had a sidekick at this point, and because, you know, it just happened where Cage was taking pictures, it was top of mind. I'm like, I'm gonna take pictures of this nigga, like, trying to fight me. He was definitely drunk or fucked up or whatever, because he was swinging on me, and he was swinging like a T-Rex. Like, it wasn't like a full extension of his arms. So I'm like backpedaling and taking pictures, laughing at this nigga. And then I put my phone away and I knock him out. And that's like the picture that went viral, where I'm like doing the fucking, the Michael Jackson fucking on my toes shit, and he's falling over. And so people were doing memes of it where somebody had done the joint where it's like he's being thrown down the bowling alley. There was one where he's like dancing with a large woman, and I'm like DJing. Or no, I'm dancing with the large woman and he's DJing. There was a whole bunch of them. I don't think they're still out there, but yeah, it was a whole moment. And it definitely raised my profile. Like, I remember after that, I went to a Def Juk show and I went backstage, And Cage came up to me. He was like, "Yeah, I just want to shake your hand." And like all those guys were like so happy that I had done that. You know, and then like I got a few more looks from like a touring perspective. So frankly, it was the best investment I made giving him that $300. But also I ended up getting the money back because Copy was working with this guy named Ryan from Man Bites Dog Records. And I had been working with him too. Like around that time, I've been touring pretty heavily with like Capadonna and Killer Priest and R.A. the Rugged Man and all this. And Ryan was setting all that up. And I think Copy had a show in Philly or around Philly. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna pull up to get my money. Like this is after the fight or punch or whatever you wanna call it. And so Ryan was like, nah, like we gotta end this. So he paid me back $400. And that was that.
You saw the most recent Copyright interview where he was honest about a lot of the events that took place.
Yeah.
He even admitted that he wishes he made more friends back in those days than enemies.
I mean, I think that is a function of a lot of things that a lot of us did at that time. You know what I mean? Like, I think the rappers that we looked up to were like all standoffish. Some of them are like, had mental health issues. So when that's your blueprint, your template of like how to be, you're like, nah, fuck everybody else. I'm the best. When really you should be connecting with everyone you can, collaborating and growing this thing. So yeah, I agree. Like I think I was also like that as well. I wasn't like scamming people and stealing their money and shit, but you know, I can relate to what he said.